Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Steph and this is my mom, Michelle.
All right, we got a question for you. So these industrial pipe shelves, and sometimes you see desks made out of them, do you think they're on their way out, or have they kind of reached their peak? It's been about 10 years, and are they on their way out, or do you think they could be updated to look a little more modern and up to date? Drop us a comment and let us know what you think.
We still think the design's pretty cool, but it's almost like every one you see out there kind of looks the same. It has that rustic wood, the black pipes, and it's just rustic. So maybe if we can figure out a way to update the look of these, and especially for this bedroom makeover, make it look a little bit more modern, maybe they can stick around a little while.
In this video, we're going to update this industrial desk with shelving unit for less than $40 and give it an updated, modern look.
Now, if you remember, we're giving this bedroom an extreme makeover, and we're doing the entire thing on a small budget, keeping it under $500. So in order to do this, we've had to use our resources wisely to create that maximum transformation or that wow factor that this room needs.
The biggest bang for your buck is always going to be with paint. A little bit of paint goes a long way and can really make a huge transformation in the room, in any room. And so let's take a look at what we've done so far in this room with paint. We've given the walls a coat of white paint, and then we painted that ceiling black. And that was going to make our small room feel bigger. The other thing that we've done so far is we added that decorative, well, it's not really decorative, that cove molding around the room, and it kind of breaks up the line where our two paint colors meet, but it also conceals our LED lights.
So now we need to update these rustic shelves to fit that modern style of this bedroom makeover. The plan is to give each of the shelves a new coat of deep dark black stain, and since these are already coated with a wax top coat, the only thing we're going to need to do is give them a quick scuff sanding, not very much, but just enough to add a little bit of grip for that gel stain to stick.
Using gel stain will be a quicker alternative than traditional stain because we won't have to sand off the whole finish, and it will save us a bit of time. We're going to use a dark black stain, which is going to give us that rich color that we want to give us that modern look. And it's still going to leave the wood grain showing, so we don't lose that beautiful detail that's in the wood. If we were to paint these shelves black, then we would lose all that detail that would be in the natural wood.
So I'm just going to go ahead and give all these shelf pieces a light sanding, a scuff sanding. But look how dinged up this is, you guys. This is my 16-year-old here. It's like he's a toddler. So I'm probably going to take an 80 grit to this piece, try to smooth out these dings, and who knows what the heck, marker. So, I'm going to sand this one a little bit more than the others, and then we'll jump into refinishing the top.
So now we need to sand all the way down to the original wood. When do projects ever go as smoothly as you think they're going to, and take more time? Please tell me your kids are as rough on furniture and things as mine are. I swear we can't have nice things around here because things just get broken. And when we spend this much time making things nice, dang it, we want them to last.
All right, now that Steph needs to sand the desktop down to remove all of that damage that is on it, she is a little worried about if she just did the scuff sanding on the shelves that she wouldn't get a cohesive look. So now we need to sand all of the shelves to take them down to the bare wood so we can use a traditional stain on the wood.
Now that the shelves have all been sanded down, we're finally ready to get them stained. It's going to be a pretty dramatic change, so we're going to walk you through our tips for staining wood without any blotchiness. Then we'll get these installed and show you the final look in the room.
The first thing you want to do is take a tack cloth and remove any dust from your wood surface before you prepare to stain your shelves or desktop or whatever you're doing. Anyway, so we're going to begin with a wood conditioner, a pre-stained wood conditioner, and this is going to make all the difference in the world for that stain to go on, even without blotchiness when you're working with soft woods like pine. And so you want to apply that wood conditioner against the grain Usually when you stain wood, you apply with the grain, but this time you're going to go against the grain, and that's going to put it into the pores of the wood better. And then once it's on, you're going to allow it to soak in, and then don't wait more than like 10 minutes, and you want to wipe off the excess. Then you want to stain your wood after about 30 minutes.
Now to apply the stain, you're going to use a paintbrush or a foam brush, or even some people can use an old rag. Lots of different methods work. We're just going to use these disposable brushes because I can just toss them in the trash when we're done. And for this, make sure that you apply the stain with the grain of the wood. So just, make sure with the conditioner it's against the grain, but the stain is with. You're going to just apply this all along the surface of the wood, and you're going to let it sit on the wood for about 5 to 10 minutes and allow that color to penetrate down into the wood grain. And the longer you let it sit on the wood, the deeper that color is going to be. And in our case, I wanted this deep, rich color, so we're leaving it on that full 10 minutes. And then you're going to take a lint-free cloth, like an old
T-shirt?
Yeah, cut up t-shirt works great for this. You basically just don't want any fibers getting on there, so t-shirts work great. And you're going to wipe off any excess stain, again in the direction of the grain of the wood, and then you're going to allow that to dry. If you leave that excess stain on there and let it dry, it really doesn't dry. It will just kind of remain tacky, and it will stay that way. So be sure to wipe off that excess before you actually let it cure. And because we're doing both sides of these shelves, we are actually using these little green props that we're lifting the wood up on. So after we wiped that first shelf top down, we're just gonna flip them over to the other side and then apply the stain again, allow it to sit, and wipe off the excess. That way we can do both sides of the shelf at the same time and then allow both sides to completely cure. We're also going to be applying 2 coats of stain to these, just again to give us that deepest dark color that we can get. And you'll just repeat these steps with that second coat as well.
Once the stain has totally cured, you're ready to apply your poly. You do want to check the drying times on your stain before you apply your poly coat, because each brand could be slightly different, and so that's something you want to check before you apply that top coat. Now, we used an oil-based stain, and so we're going to use an oil-based poly. If you're using a water-based stain, you want to use a water-based poly.
Yeah, oil and water don't mix.
They don't. And another thing is, if you're using an oil-based poly on a lighter wood, if you're doing a lighter stain, it could amber.
Yeah, over time it will kind of amber a little bit.
That will be something you want to look at before you do your project. But we're doing dark, we want oil-based, and I also feel that oil-based polyurethane is more durable than the water-based. And so that's my preference. That's the word I want.
And I also need that protection with these desks, so we're going the extra mile for these, so they better last.
Okay, so usually we use a wipe-on poly, which is just a Minwax brand wipe-on poly, and you apply it with a lint-free cloth. This time around, we tried something different. We're using just a traditional oil-based polyurethane. We bought this.
Still Minwax.
Yes, it is. We bought it in a quart, and it was less expensive than we would normally.
It just didn't say wipe on.
Right. But we did wipe on like we traditionally do. We used a piece of a t-shirt to apply the poly to get our first coat on, let it dry, and it was beautiful. We get no brush marks, and it just gives you this beautiful hand-rubbed finish. Make sure you check your can for the drying time on it, and then once it has dried and it's ready for a second coat, you want to lightly sand the surface of the polyurethane with a 4/0 steel wool. And this is going to give you the most beautiful smooth finish if you do this in between your coats. It works every single time. And I love to have wood when I touch it to be super smooth when I touch it. So then you'll apply your second coat. Now on the shelves, we did apply 2 coats of our polyurethane, but on that desk surface where we wanted extra protection, we applied 3 coats of poly. And when you apply that final top coat, you don't want to do any more sanding with the steel wool after that. You're just going to apply it and let it be.
Now we're going to give you a quick rundown of how we installed these shelves, and there are a ton of videos out there on how to do this. So rather than giving you our exact dimensions and cuts and all that information, we do have it on our blog, which is linked below. Or if you want to see us do an additional video on that and give you all the step-by-step, let us know down in the comments and we'll be happy to do that. We're also working on some digital plans that we will put in the comments below, and you can make it exactly like we did. The shelves are all cured and we're gonna just assemble everything today. So I just wanted to lay this out so it made some sense. This is the bottom desk surface because it's a little bit wider. And then this smaller piece actually gets installed on top of that one, and then the 3 tellers. And then we've laid out all of the electrical conduit so you can see how everything's pieced together, and we'll get installing it. We're using 3/4 inch electrical conduit and fittings, and we're essentially just gonna screw all of the parts together. We have flanges secured to the floor, and then as we work our way up to the top, it will be secured to the wall as well. So it really is pretty easy to do. You just start from the bottom, work your way up, and then we did add some L brackets underneath the desktop just so we could secure it to the wall and keep it from tipping forward if any excess weight was put on the front of the desk. And you'll just keep working your way up all the way to the top, and then you'll secure your last pieces to the top of the bookcase and secure it to the wall with another flange.
Let me tell you that Aiden loves these shelves. In the beginning, when he first was getting this room, that was the one element he wanted to stay in the room. He loved the desk, he loved the shelves, and already he has been, we haven't even finished his room or staged his room or anything, but he is already spreading those Legos out all over the place, and he's building his Star Wars figurines, whatever they're called, all those little...
Decorating his shelves already.
He is decorating the shelves himself already, and he loves it.
Even though overall we had to spend a little bit more time sanding these shelves down, scuff sanding would have been maybe 10 minutes. I spent maybe an hour, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. It was mental, but we're so happy with the way this desk shelf combo looks now. It's still got that same look as those pipe shelves, but with the new dark stain and that little bit of sheen. It is just modern and different, and I think we're good to go for 10 more years.
Maybe.
And we were able to do this all for less than $40. So a huge piece of shelving attached to the wall in a room like that for only $40. I mean, you can't beat that. So if you don't mind getting your hands dirty and doing a little bit of the work, you can definitely do this to update the shelves in your own home. And then the staining, of course, it took about a day just with the dry time in there, but we would just apply the stain and then move on to something else in the room. So just kind of plan for that. But the project really didn't take that long, and it made a huge difference in the room.
We'll of course stage these shelves for the bedroom reveal, but ultimately we know what's going to happen. Aiden's gonna get in there and he's going to arrange them the way he wants to arrange them, right? And it's not gonna be all pretty and balanced and evenly spaced like we want it to be. But it's okay.
That's real life. Anyway, what do you think of this pipe shelf makeover? Let us know if you like this idea for updating the existing shelves, or if you're just done with this trend and you're ready to see it go.
We hope you've liked this video and you've learned some tips that will help you update some shelves in your own home.
Be sure to hit that like button and tap that notification bell so you're the first one to know when our new videos come out. That way you won't miss a single episode in this bedroom makeover.
Up next, we're going to share tips how you can totally change the look of curtains for less than $25. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. If you've missed any episodes, you can watch them by tapping the link on your screen or down in the description below. You might also like to watch any of the extreme room makeovers we've completed in the previous one-room challenges. Again, just tap the link on your screen or in the description box below. In each of these design plans, we share simple and creative ways to transform any space on a minimal budget. You're sure to find several ways you can update your home with a timeless look.
We're going to walk you through our tips for staining wood without blotching.
Without blotching.
What?
Well, that sounds funny. Without blotchiness? Without blotching is like a verb.
Whatever.
And blotchiness would be the adjective or adverb or whatever.
Without any blotching. Thank you. I'm not done yet.
Blotchiness.
Oh, crap. Okay. Without any blotchiness.